In the golden age of Hollywood, studios manufactured dreams. But who manufactured the dream men? His name was Henry Willson. He was an agent, a star maker, a Svengali, and a predator. He specialized in a very specific kind of client, tall, chiseled, and naive young men with broken pasts. Henry didn't just manage careers, he rebuilt identities. He changed their names, fixed their teeth, and built them into icons. He called them his pretty boys. Some were gay, some were straight. But in the puritanical 1950s, all of them were straight in the eyes of the public. This is the story of Henry Willson's Adonis factory and the men who wore the masks. It all started with a photograph in the late 1940s. A handsome but green young man from Winnetka, Illinois, named Roy Scherer, sent in a headshot. He had bad teeth and a massive frame. Henry saw past the rough edges, famously stating, "The acting can be added later." He renamed the boy Rock Hudson. Rock became the ultimate Hollywood heartthrob, the blueprint for the rugged, romantic leading man, despite being a closeted gay man in a relationship-obsessed town. Henry's eye for talent was unparalleled. He scouted the beaches, the gas stations, and the soda fountains of Los Angeles. Take Tab Hunter, born Arthur Kelm. Tab was an ice-skating stable boy when Willson found him. Willson took one look at his blonde hair and blue eyes and molded him into the quintessential boy next door for millions of teenage girls. Or look at Troy Donahue, born Merle Johnson. Willson found Troy, the son of a commercial filmmaker, after he recovered from a near-fatal car accident. With his tousled blonde hair, Troy became the face of late-50s teen melodramas. Henry knew what the camera wanted, and he flooded the market with pure, unadulterated beefcake. Henry Willson's roster was a who's who of 1950s and 60s television and cinema. Some were straight men who capitalized on their matinee idol looks. Guy Madison, born Robert Mosley, was a telephone lineman spotted by talent scouts. Robert Wagner, who kept his own name, was discovered while dining at a restaurant. Rory Calhoun, born Francis Durgan, had a wilder backstory. Willson discovered the striking actor after Calhoun served time in a federal reformatory. Then there were the Western and action stars. Ty Hardin, born Orison Whipple Hungerford Jr., was a UCLA football player discovered at a church. Clint Walker, born Norman Walker, was an absolute giant, 6 feet 6 inches, working as a Las Vegas bouncer before Willson brought him to Hollywood to become Cheyenne. Doug McClure and Chad Everett, born Raymond Crampton, both fit the mold of the rugged, square-jawed Willson hero. But the dark underbelly of Willson's agency was the casting couch. Willson was a predatory gay man who ruled by fear and blackmail. For his gay and bisexual clients, living a double life wasn't just a career choice, it was a necessity for survival in a homophobic era. Consider the sheer volume of actors whose identities were completely overhauled. John Derek was born Derek Harris. Nick Adams was born Nicholas Adams. Mike Connors was born Krecker Ohanian. John Saxon was born Carmine Orico. Robert Fuller was born Leonard Lee. Willson's grooming went down to the smallest detail. He made sure these men could project an aura of heterosexuality. Sometimes he even arranged marriages, like the infamous union between Rock Hudson and Willson's own secretary Phyllis Gates. For some clients, like Dak Rambo, born Norman Rambo, the glamour of the Willson stable offered a doorway into acting. Others, like Kerwin Matthews, Race Gentry, born Roy Gentry, Yale Summers, born Yale Kramer, Barry Coe, born Barry Belcher, and Van Williams, born Van Zant Williams, found themselves cast in a specific, handsome, and often limited leading man mold. As the 1960s rolled in, the Hollywood studio system began to collapse. Taboos were breaking, and the public taste in stars shifted. But Henry Willson didn't shift with the times. His weaponization of his clients' secrets and his own notorious battles with addiction and the mafia eventually caught up with him. His biggest stars left him, and the very currency of his power dried up. Henry's life ended in tragic irony. The man who built Hollywood's most beautiful men died broke, bitter, and alone in 1978 at the motion picture country home. At his burial, there wasn't even enough money to put his name on a tombstone. Henry Willson was a predatory, deeply flawed man, but without him, the cultural landscape of the 1950s, the bronzed Beach Boys, the square-jawed cowboys, and the untouchable matinee idols, would not exist. He shaped the fantasies of a generation, trading the dirty deals of real life for the beautiful lies on the silver screen.